The battle continues between this facility behind me and area residents. The residents are hoping to challenge the official community plan in court and stop the progress. According to the supporters of the Pine Valley Golf Course, it only cost the city about $4,000 last year to run the course. But when there was a driving range here, it was generating about $90,000 in profit, which has now been replaced by a car lot. And with no practice facility at the PG Golf and Curling Club, there's no practice facility for anyone in the bowl. Zameer Karim, CKPG News. All hands on deck here at Gladstone Elementary as work is ongoing to get prepared for the 250 kids that will arrive here on Monday morning. The park management plans to bring in a water truck as a temporary solution as work continues on the water line. Zameer Karim, CKPG News. The consensus is this has been one of the best ski seasons on recent past, especially with just over a week left in the season. Kids are also saying that they'd much rather be here than sitting in class.
Hello everybody, thank you for joining us inside our broadcast booth. Zameer Karim and Peter Curtis here at the Hershey Center in Mississauga. And another great matchup between the Knights and the Junior Bulldogs here, the OMHA finalists versus the Alliance champions.
The work continues, rain or shine, as Prince George tries to shed its dubious reputation as the city with the worst roads. Two more projects are on the books for this week, with work started on the 22nd Avenue road rehab.
They're both fairly high volume routes. We're starting them. 22nd Avenue is being milled today. University Way is tentatively scheduled for tomorrow.
The city scheduled 16 road rehab projects for the summer.
Current to date, we've completed 6 out of the 16 scheduled road rehabilitation projects. With the 2 that got started this week, we're halfway there once we complete these.
No Prince George roads made the list for the top 10 worst roads in the province this year. But in 2011, Ospika Boulevard was number 1. And in 2012, 4 Prince George roads made the top 10. But this year, residents are impressed with the improvement in road conditions in the city.
They're a lot better than they were 2 years ago. Still bad. We still need a lot of work.
I'm quite happy with it. There are some rough spots, mind you, but it's coming. Give them time.
You can see it in just the regular driving. Not as many potholes, right? They're getting to the streets that are bad.
With hopes to remain off the top 10 worst roads list in the province, the city expects to finish the remaining projects by the end of August. The cost of playing sports in Prince George will be going up, but for some organizations, the cost will be going up sooner than later. As part of the city's core review, organizations like PG Minor Hockey, the Figure Skating Club, and others will see an increase in the cost of ice time jump 5% this fall. But the increase could have been much higher.
We're glad it wasn't 15 or 10% at all. 5%, we can handle that, pass that on to our register to the players. We have to pass that cost on to the players. Just like every year, we've had a 3.5% increase for the last 2 years.
Council was originally mulling over a 15% increase, which was called for in the core review for ice arenas, but settled on 5%. Some councillors say the cost of arenas in Prince George is too low.
When you take a look at, for example, arena ice hockey, and you have people come to Prince George and they say, my God, your rates are low.
The original increase in ice costs was 3.5%, which will now jump to 5%. Ice arenas aren't alone in the increase. Sports fields will also have a significant cost increase in their price to rent. 16 user groups, including minor football and youth soccer, only pay $10 annually to rent fields, which will be jumping to $1,000 a year. The new rate won't go into effect until April 2015.
$10 was ludicrously low. Everybody that I've spoken to agrees that just had to change. And $1,000 is not a big number when you consider the number of players that are playing over that season. It comes down to pennies per player.
The difficulty for players, and it's mostly for the parents, is going to be the fee increase. Like if minor football has to pay a higher fees for the fields, then obviously it's going to come down. They have to raise their costs per player to play.
With 18 months to implement the increase, it will give minor football a chance to lessen its impact.
I think what it'll do is it'll help people with their annual budgets prepare better for it. So, I think if it was an immediate increase, I think then you're going to have an outcry from the communities. But I think if they have a year and a half to prepare for it, I think they'll be okay.
The consensus seems with the rate increase for user groups, many are saying it could have been worse. Zameer Karim, CKPG News.